The management of patients with compromising medical conditions. This is in dental practice. The patients with medical conditions sometimes require modifications of their perioperative care when oral surgery is planned. This section discusses those considerations for the major categories of health problems. First, the cardiovascular problems. In that, the first one is ischemic heart disease. Ischemic heart disease. In that, there is angina pectoris. C. Narrowing of the myocardial arteries is one of the most common health problems that dentists encounter. 2. This condition occurs primarily in men older than age 40 years and is also prevalent in the postmenopausal women. The basic disease process is a progressive narrowing or spasm or both of one or more of the coronary arteries. This leads to a mismatch between the myocardial oxygen demand and the ability of the coronary arteries to supply the oxygen carrying capacity. The myocardial oxygen demand can be increased, for example, by exertion or anxiety. Angina is a symptom of reversible ischemic heart disease produced when myocardial blood supply cannot be sufficiently increased to meet the increased oxygen requirements that result from coronary artery disease. The myocardium becomes ischemic, producing heavy pressure or squeezing sensation in the patient's substernal region that can radiate into the left shoulder and the arm and even into the mandibular region. The patient may complain of an intense sense of being unable to breathe adequately. The term angina is derived from the ancient Greek word meaning a choking sensation. The stimulation of the vagal activity commonly occurs with the resulting nausea, sweating, and bradycardia. The discomfort typically disappears once the myocardial workload requirements are lowered or the oxygen supply to the heart muscle is increased. The practitioner's responsibility to a patient with an angina history is to use all available preventive measures, thereby reducing the possibility that the surgical procedure will precipitate an anginal episode. The preventive measures begin with taking a careful history of the patient's angina. The patient should be questioned about the events that tend to precipitate the angina, the frequency, duration, and the severity of the angina, and the response to the medication or diminished activity. The patient's physician can be consulted about the patient's cardiac status. These are some of the preventive measures. If the patient's angina arises only during moderately vigorous exertion and responds readily to rest and oral nitroglycerin administration, and if no recent increase in severity has occurred, ambulatory oral surgery procedures are usually safe when performed with proper precautions. However, if anginal episodes occur with only minimal exertion, if several doses of the nitroglycerin are needed to relieve the chest discomfort, or if the patient has an unstable angina, that is, angina presents at the rest, or worsening in frequency, severity, ease of precipitation, duration of attack, or predictability of the response to medication, elective surgery should be postponed until a medical consultation is obtained. Alternatively, the patient can be referred to an oral maxillofacial surgeon if emergency surgery is necessary. Once the decision is made that ambulatory elective oral surgery can safely proceed, the patient with a history of angina should be prepared for surgery, and the patient's myocardial oxygen demand should be lowered or prevented from rising. The increased oxygen demand during ambulatory oral surgery is primarily the result of the patient's anxiety. Thus, an anxiety reduction protocol should be used, which can be seen in the box 1.9. Box 1.9, General Anxiety Reduction Protocol. Before appointment, you give the hypnotic agent to promote sleep one night before surgery, which is an optional one. You give sedative agent to decrease anxiety on morning of surgery, which is an optional one. 3. Morning appointment and schedule so that reception room time is minimized. During appointment, non-pharmacological means of anxiety control includes the 1. Frequent verbal reassurance. 2. Distracting conversation. 3. No surprises. That is, clinician warns patient before doing anything that could cause anxiety. 4. No unnecessary noise. 5. Surgical instruments out of patient's sight. 6. Relaxing background music. Pharmacological means of anxiety control includes local anesthesia of sufficient intensity and duration. 2. Nitrous oxide. 3. Intravenous anxiolytics. After surgery, succinct instructions for post-operative care. 2. Patient information on expected post-surgical sequelae, for example, swelling or minor oozing of blood. 3. Further reassurance. 4. Effective analgesics. 5. Patient information on who can be contacted if any problems arises. And finally, the telephone call to patient at home during evening after surgery to check whether any problems exist. Coming back to the profound local anesthesia is the best means of limiting patients' anxiety. Although some controversy exists over the use of local anesthetics containing the epinephrine in patients with angina, the benefits, that is, the prolonged and accentuated anesthesia, outweigh the risks. However, care should be taken to avoid excessive epinephrine administration by using proper injection techniques. Some clinicians also advise giving no more than 4 ml of local anesthetic solution with a 1:100,000 concentration of low epinephrine for a total adult dose of 0.04 mg in any 30-minute period. Before and during surgery, vital signs should be monitored periodically. In addition, regular verbal contact with the patient should be maintained. The use of nitrous oxide or other conscious sedation methods for anxiety control in patients with ischemic heart disease should be considered. Fresh nitroglycerin should be nearby for use when necessary. You can see in the box 1.10. Box 1.10 telling about management of patient with history of the angina pectoris. 1. Consult the patient's physician. 2. Use an anxiety reduction protocol. 3. Have nitroglycerin tablets or spray readily available. Use nitroglycerin pre-medication if indicated. 4. Ensure profound local anesthesia before starting surgery. 5. Consider the use of the nitrous oxide sedation. 6. Monitor vital signs closely. 7. Consider possible limitation of amount of epinephrine used. Say 0.04 mg is maximum. 8. Maintain verbal contact with the patient throughout the procedure to monitor the status. Coming back, the introduction of the balloon-tipped catheters into the narrowed coronary arteries for the purpose of re-establishing adequate blood flow and stenting arteries open is becoming commonplace. If the angioplasty has been successful based on the cardiac stress testing, oral surgery can proceed soon thereafter with the same precautions as those used for the patients with angina. Thank you.